How fate and free will in Matrix work, if believe we live in a computer simulation. At the beginning, it is worth adding that we choose our life and the life scenario. If we belong to some religion or sect, our soul is ruled by someone, and if not, we are free and we can choose ourselves the next life. It looks a bit like the Sims game. Harvard Business School professor Gerald Zaltman says that 95% of our purchase decision-making takes place in the subconscious mind. Upbringing in our family, what we believe in or even the appearance of people we love are recorded in the subconscious, so it also translates into subsequent incarnations. But not only. If we look at numerology, we have numerological personalities there. Our appearance and character is pre-coded. Before we incarnate, we choose our incarnation scenario. We are only souls in bodies. We have different personalities in each incarnation, but we can also live the same life, i.e. the same life scenario is still the same. Old souls choose their own experience scenarios and can do it endlessly. Someone who knows the life situation of each of us, and our parents, friends around us, the appearance of personality traits, previous character traits and thinking from previous lives, and controls the life scenario and knows the energy relationships between people can easily predict what will happen, unless we manage to wake up. Race and body don't matter because there are different souls each time. Once we are here on Earth, then there are some computers in some spiritual place and some beings control these computers, and there are human incarnations and incarnation programs in these computers. So these computers are connected to our characters, there is an incarnation scenario on these computers and we only play it because we are connected to it. We can skip some command of this program, what we doing, fate, but only when we are aware of it and we have expanded awareness and exit this empty program, and then they have a signal that such a person has woken up and they are giving this person obstacles. It is connected in the astral on the subconscious level. So to be free we have to detach from this software, disconnect it, and then there is a reset on this computer. So our subconscious is free and clean, and for that we have to check if we have any implants and connections. We can also decode regressive hypnosis from alcohol addictions, aggression, and other diseases. It is worth adding that if someone controls our subconsciousness, e.g. some god can enter a given command and we will do it because our body performs most of the movements unconsciously. We also see a lot of addicts and they can't give up the addicts because it's code in the subconscious. In the Matrix we can also use magic and other interesting things, so it's worth informing yourself. If we do not want to be controlled, I recommend doing regression hypnosis and decoding all unconsciously concluded contracts and addiction codes. We can also heal ourselves. We take turns meeting soulmates in line and sometimes we are caught in one-sided love because people here are coded into platonic relationships so that they are not in alcoholic relationships because sexual desire was the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. Each of us has such a platonic half, but here we can be with whomever we want and whoever wants to have eternal life must return to the same person, so most people choose incarnation. Religions promote sex after marriage so that people make contracts, as there is something that the last husband will also be with us in the next life, unless we refuse. Although it is hard because the family sometimes forces us to marry or we are deceived by the appearance remembered by our subconscious in general quite a different person we loved. There are also different kinds of souls on this planet and races to mix, we have a right to do so, and people do this because later souls are arranged so that we cannot marry a soul mate. It is well described in Leviticus 18 because this is how the system architect wants to make people, in platonic marriages and children as soul mate, so that they will not feel any sexual desire to each other as it is very developmental and people can unite like in Genesis 11 and then they can do anything because these relationships are very energetic. We know the stories of Diana and Charles well. He preferred Camilla because he felt chemistry for her and Diana was probably his platonic half and she was not interesting for him and then she was killed, because that resets the timeline. Cain also killed Abel because of Aclama, apparently she was prettier but that's because we like people with the same vibrations as ours, twin souls. The system is whole controlled by one person, Illuminati, Al-Yahweh Jesus etc. The characters, languages of people are mixed, there are gays and lesbians because there is manipulation and this manipulator is trying to separate these soulmates under the pressure of society and family. Let's see how Charles got married to Diana. His life scenario was set so that he would agree to this marriage. Someone wants people to be on one level and not develop more, and that is also why there are wars, because through fights people on the level of the soul generate negative energy and then we do not easily sense who we like. It was written in the Auschwitz working camps, work makes you free. There were people there tortured and all this is arranged so that people would fight each other and squirm, so that there would be no such relationships and that they will speak different languages. That means having the characters different and are in families with different energy dependencies, because then, for example, if there are one-sided vibrations, even someone who has a layer of bodily aggression can kill us if we refuse to do something. People in psychiatric hospitals are also cheated not to protest. Spiritual beings also deceive us and manipulate us by showing us prophetic dreams, ghost vision, or hearing voices. All this is technologically done and we are intimidated not to do what we want. Some people have learning problems to be depended, but we can claim our rights after the death and demand everything working. The political situation also shows what happens between people. People are divided into races, it means that they have something different from each other, but it doesn't matter here, as we are in the body. Although someone, alien unseen manipulator, I advise to watch the movie They Live, wants to put people by force on their places because they don't want. One day the earth was artificially divided into countries. Before all was free, and people were told to obey the rulers, it was all under control so that people couldn't be free anymore, and they have spiritual abilities etc. All this is turned off now cause through manipulations they did it and we agreed. Without we agree no one can do nothing. Russians are interested in the Black Sea area. In 2014 the Russians started sponsoring some resistance movements and destabilizing this area. They did it because there is a minority of Russian people who want to join this area to Russia. So Russians, under the pretext that they want to defend their people because they repressed, set up their army there. How they could put the army there? Even not all people must agree, but just enough signatures is needed, that is as per law. So they did it this way, and even not that all people want it so. So now it turned out that the Russian parliament approved it, that now this land belongs to the Russians. Also, people judge pedophiles and these are simply souls because the body has age and the soul does not, and these people sometimes feel a lot of energy towards each other. The porn industry also promotes violent sex because it wants people to have coded perversions and become in platonic relationships and get drunk with beer or stimulants so as not to protest, and are also kept witchcraft with themselves and not be able to break free easily. People are also bodily handicapped so that they have to be dependent on someone else. Women want to work because they don't want to be in platonic relationships because they feel like they are being raped in their marriage. Also, before we judge someone, think about whether we want to be saved by force or we prefer reincarnation. There are also 3 types of souls on earth: people, angels, and Elohim. These are the racial children of Yahweh. Other souls are made to resemble, and therefore the system wants to put a pyramid. People are not to be equal. Darwin evolution says that organisms evolve, unless they are kept on one level. In a platonic relationship, no one evolves because it's not energetic. This is why we have so many sex toys in our stores, because people are forced into relationships without being sexually attracted to. But we have a free will, so no one has to accept it, although there is a lot of pressure. Therefore, let's be careful about dreams and other manipulations. Some people claim to see Jesus in dreams, but this is also that such a being would have the right to steer us and separate us from the person we love, so let's be aware of it and don't believe everything. By baptizing a child, we give some power over the soul and controlling its subconsciousness, and then everything can happen. Stephen Hawking fell down the stairs because someone guided him so that he would have depression, and all traumas are transferred to another incarnation, and then we do not believe in ourselves. Let's remember how the church was burning witches, because they were women who had knowledge, and kings had prostitutes and the wife was only to bear children. Let's think if we want such a system here. Because it is created by the Anunnaki, aliens and Illuminati, this is this Yahweh. They created Osama bin Laden and do such manipulations. This is only an opinion supported by analysis, and the rest everyone has to see for themselves. The World Trade Center represented the union of twin souls. They have been shattered and now stand one tower as 2 platonic halves. We shall this who is behind it. There is such a thing as a universal law, and the Anunnaki were also created by a source, and they created humans by manipulation. Therefore man has a free will because they are not the source. Everything must be shown, for example, through symbols, signs. The truth does not have to be shown directly. Therefore, even in the Bible or in other books, information is written mysteriously. The suffering in the world is caused by deliberately forcing people not to do what they want to do. That is why there are wars and hunger in the world. In the Bible, people are described as beasts because some people are made in the image of the Anunnaki. The book of the Anunnaki speaks of this. There are different souls on earth, and that's why all kinds of strange things are happening here, because people mix with each other and someone doesn't like it.